Hi boys and girls, welcome back to Grammy's Corner Club, where we sing songs, play games, we tell some jokes, and we learn some fun facts. And last but not least, we have story time. Story time, yay! We love story time here, you can tell. Sunny is with us today. And Sunny, let's see who is with us today. Grammy's Magic Kaleidoscope will show us who's here. Oh, I want to see. Okay, take a look. Ah, I see boys and girls. All right, boys and girls, we know you're there. Here's what we're going to do. Grammy's going to look through here. I see you. You see us? All right, I'm going to count to 3, and I want you to say, "Hi, Grammy," as loud as you can. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Hi, Grammy. Oh, well, thank you, Sunny. I think all the boys and girls are here today, and that makes it fun. So let's see what we have here today. As you can tell, we have some new people or new animals with us today. We have kitty cats. And this kitty cat is very special. Her name is Violet. And we're going to be hearing a story about Violet today. You're going to learn about her as we read our storybook today about Violet. And she has her baby kitty, and some cat friends have come along. So we're going to be learning some fun facts and jokes and even riddles about kitty cats. How many of you have a cat? Do you have a cat at home? I have a cat. I have a gray cat. I want a kitty cat. Well, you will have to ask your mom about that. Okay. I don't know. You have to see if mom will let you have a kitty cat. Some people love kitty cats and some people like doggies. But from what I was reading, did you know that more people own kitty cats than they do dogs? That's right. It seems that cats are one of the more popular house pets that people have. And some people have both. I have both. I have a kitty cat and a dog. But we love kitty cats, and we're going to be talking about them today. You know, Sunny was sharing with me that she's been practicing some kitty cat knock-knock jokes just for today. Well, we'd like to hear them. Can you tell us your kitty cat knock jokes? Okay. Knock, knock. Who's there? Claus. Claus. Let me think. Claus who? Claus the door. I'm getting cold. Oh yes, you better close the door. Mom always says that. What do you live in a barn? Close the door, right? Okay, let's hear another one. Do you have another knock-knock joke? Knock, knock. Who's there? Hello. Hello, who? Hello, kitty. Hello, kitty. Oh, I have Hello Kitty in my bedroom. Do you girls have Hello Kitty in your bedroom? Do you have maybe curtains and bedspread that are Hello Kitty, or do you have a Hello Kitty? Yeah, that's what I thought. She's pretty popular. You have another knock-knock joke for us? One more. Knock, knock. Who's there? Lion. Lion. Lion who? Lion on your doorstep. Open up and let me come in. Oh, all right. Come on in, Sunny. Boys and girls, come on in for our time today where we're going to have some jokes now and sing some songs. Are you ready? Me too. All right, let's get started. Sunny, would you like to sing some songs? Yes. All right, have a seat over here. And we're going to review our song that we started learning last week. And it was about fear. Remember we talked about don't be afraid? Well, this is the song about don't be afraid. And remember, these are for claps. When you see these, we say, don't be afraid. Clap, 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 clap. So clap, Grandma gonna tap on the table. You clap, okay? So it goes like this. Don't be afraid. Jesus is near. When you are scared, you need not fear. You're not alone. He's there beside you. He will comfort and he'll guide you. Don't be afraid. Jesus is near. Don't be afraid. Very good. Can you sing this with me one more time? And we're learning this, but I think by now you probably know it better, right? All right, try it one more time with me. Don't be afraid. Clap, 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 clap. Jesus is near. Clap, 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 clap. When you are scared, you need not fear. You're not alone. He's there beside you. He will comfort and he'll guide you. Don't be afraid. Jesus is near. Don't be afraid. Very good. And we don't have to be afraid because the Bible tells us what? For he shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear thee up, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. That's kind of like when you stumble and you trip. Well, it says that God is going to protect us and keep us from falling and tripping up, and he's going to be there. So you don't need to be afraid. All right. Now, let's see. I told you that I have some fun jokes that pertain to kitty cats. Do you know any cat jokes? I would love to hear yours. If you have any, send them to Grammy, okay? And let me hear your jokes that are kitty cat jokes. All right, let's see. If you know, why do cats make terrible storytellers? Why do cats make terrible storytellers? Well, they only have one tail. That's it. Okay, what kind of cats like to go bowling? What kind of cats like to go bowling? Alley cats, of course. Alley cats. All right, why did the cat run away from the tree? Why did the cat run away from the tree? Because he was afraid of the bark. Oh boy, you know, a tree has bark on it. That's silly. Why is it so hard for a leopard to hide? Why is it so hard for a leopard to hide? Because he's always spotted. Uh-oh, he's always spotted. Here's the last one. What is a cat's way of keeping law and order? What is a cat's way of keeping law and order? Claw enforcement. You know, like law enforcement, but he's got claws. Claw enforcement. That is funny. All right, so remember that. That's a good one to tell your dad tonight. I think you'll get a couple laughs out of that. That's good. All right, so that was some fun jokes. Now, you know, we've been having some quizzes. Instead of having a quiz today, it's sort of a quiz because we're going to cover some fun facts about cats that you may or may not know. And what we're going to do, I brought my doggy friend here, my little puppy, and our kitty, and it's going to be true and false. I'm going to read one of the fun facts. If you think it's true, you're going to go meow. All right? But if you think it's false, you're going to go ruff, ruff. You're going to bark like a dog if you think it's false. True, meow. False, ruff, ruff. Okay. Are you ready for some fun facts? Let's see what you know about felines. Felines is another word for cats. All right. This is true or false? Meow or woof woof. Cats walk like camels and giraffes. They walk with both feet first, followed by both left feet. Is that true or false? Is that meow or is it ruff ruff? Meow. If you meowed, you're right. It's true. It says that camels and giraffes are the only other animals to walk this way, where they both right legs go and both left legs go. Isn't that amazing? I thought that was very interesting. How many of you already knew that? I didn't know that. That was new to me. Okay. Is this true or false? Is this meow or woof woof? House cats share 95.6% of their genetic makeup with tigers. Is that true or false? House cats share 95.6% of their genetic makeup with tigers. Meow. Ruff, ruff. If you meow, you're right. It's true. And do you know why? Why would that be true that house cats share 95.6% of their genetic makeup with the biggest cat in the world, which is the tiger? Because God created animals after their own kind. So when he made the cats, he made after their own kind, and then they just kept breeding through the years, and we have different kinds of cats. Big cats, little cats, spotted cats, striped cats. We have all kinds, and right down to the small, what we call the domestic cats that we have in our homes, that we make pets of. All right. Okay, here's another true or false. Meow or ruff ruff. A cat was the mayor of an Alaskan town for 20 years. Is that meow or is that ruff ruff? A cat was the mayor of an Alaskan town for 20 years. Meow. Yes. His name was Stubbs. He was an orange tabby, was the mayor of Talcott, Alaska for 20 years. It says he had several uncontested elections, and although he didn't hold any legislative power, that means he couldn't pass a law, he was loved by locals and tourists alike. That was another true. How funny. So if you meowed, you were right. Okay, is this a meow or a ruff ruff? A house cat can reach speeds of up to 30 miles per hour. Meow, ruff ruff. If you meowed, meow, you're right, up to 30 miles per hour. Did you ever see your cat racing around the house? Brum, 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 brum. They run pretty fast, don't they? 30 miles per hour, think of that. So these were all true. So if you meowed every time, you got it, guys. Give yourself a, well, I guess give yourself a lovingly pat on the head and you can purr. That's what a cat does, right? They purr when they're happy, when they're contented. All right, let's put the kitty back over here and let's put the dog out of the way since we're not talking about dogs. Now, I would like for you all to put on your thinking caps. Rev your engines. All right, because we are going to play detectives and we are going to decode a secret message. Someone left a secret message when we weren't looking. And here it is. It is a secret message. Shh. Let's see what the secret message has to say for us today. All right, here's what you have to do. Do you see the number 4? Well, we're going to go over here. We're going to find a number 4, and it gives us the letter that we're going to put in there. So if I go down to 4, can you see that? Let me push Kitty out of the way so you can see. Now. All right. Can everybody see that? 4 would be D. You're right. Okay, the next number is 15. 15. So we go all the way down to 15. 15 is an O. O. Up we have G-O. 14. Go down to 14 is a N. Do you see that? N. Okay, we're decoding this secret message. N. Next number is 20. You ready? 20. Let's go down to, oh, I don't know if you can see this or not. Do I need to lift this up so you can see the bottom down here? 20 is a T. What's the first word, kids? Don't. Oh, don't. This is something we're not supposed to do. Let's find out what our secret message is. 7. G. 5. Yes, E. You said E, you're correct. Okay, kiddos, what's 19? Gotta go all the way down the bottom. 19 is S. Don't. Oop, I think that was supposed to be 20. Sorry about that. Let's try this one. 20 is T. Yes. Don't get. Let's see. 3. What? What letter is that? C. You're right. 1 is obviously A. 21. Let's go down to here. 21. What's that? U. U. What's 7? G. Right. I heard somebody say G. 8. What is that one? H. You said H. Okay. And 20. What's 20 again down here? Yes. T. Okay. Do you know what that word is? It's got some silent sounds. Silent letters. Caught. Don't get caught. Uh-oh. Boy, this does sound like a serious warning, doesn't it? Let's see. Don't get caught. The next number is a 3. That's a C. You're right. 1 is A. 20. 20. What's 20? We've had that one before. T. C-A-T spells cat. Yes. Don't get caught cat. Don't get caught cat? That doesn't make any sense. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. We've got one more word. Okay. This is the secret message. We're just about to find out what it is. We're just about there, kids. Okay. Come down to number 14 with me. 14 is, what is that letter? N. N. Okay. N. Number 1 is A. I have a number 16. What's 16? What is that? P? Okay. I have another 16, so it's another P. We have 2 P's. Number 9. What's number 9? What letter is that? I. Number 14. What letter is that? N? Yep, you're right. And give me one more. 7. What letter is 7? G? What is that word? Napping. Read the whole message. Don't get caught catnapping. That could be bad if you were in the middle of school and you got caught catnapping. Oh boy. Teacher would say, wake up, right? Yes, pay attention, stop catnapping. You know why we say that? Did you know that cats will nap most of the day away? They will nap for 18 to 20 hours. They'll just lay in the sun and they'll sleep, sleep, sleep. And where's the cat? And then they wait, of course, until nighttime when you're in bed, and then they run 30 miles an hour around the house, don't they? Yep, that's what cats do. They're kind of funny that way. All right, are you ready to meet Violet and hear her story? Let's see, which one are we going to do? We're going to start with this one. We have 2 of her stories, and because they're not as long, we're going to finish it today. We're going to do this one. This is about Violet Comes to Stay. It's another book by Jan Karen, and it's Cynthia Coppersmith's kitty cat. She has a kitty cat, and her kitty cat, she names her Violet. And this is who we have with us today. Come on over here, Violet. Sit over here where you can hear the story. We can pet her. Isn't she soft? And Violet has blue eyes. White, and she's blue eyes. See? Okay. Well, let's see how Violet came to stay. Well, this is some really cool pictures I want you to see. This is a food pantry, and there's a mommy cat, and I see a bunch of kittens. Mommy cats have kittens, and I do see some kittens there. And here's a Bible verse that says, to everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven. And it talks about in the Bible that there's a time to be born. Well, this was the time that these baby kitties were born. And it's about Violet and her brother and sister. They were born in the kitchen pantry of a house on top of a hill. That was that picture I just showed you of the pantry. For days, an old crate lined with scraps of calico was the kittens' entire world. But soon they were strong enough to nose around the pantry and then the vast kitchen that lay beyond the door. Let me show you this. There's some great pictures here. See the kittens in the kitchen floor with the cook? Oh my, that is like kittens. For days, they had lived in the old crate, but now the kittens were quick to invent games for themselves, like chasing after the broom as Cook swept the floor, or pouncing on the occasional pea or potato that rolled off the counter. Then one day, without warning, Violet's brother Samson launched himself at Cook's foot as she walked by. Oh boy, I don't know if you've ever been around kittens. They're very, very playful. Can you see him launching onto her foot? That's why I like kittens. They're fun. They do lots of fun things. Violet watched as her brother held fast to Cook's shoe. "What game is that?" she asked her sister Daisy. "It's not a game," said Daisy. "He's learning how to catch a mouse." "What? Why would he want to catch a mouse?" Violet watched as Cook reached down and plucked Samson from her foot. "Because mice are the enemy," said Violet's mother. "They steal food from pantries. They chew holes in linen. Why, they've even been known to eat through books. It's our job to kill them." Violet's eyes widened. "Kill them? Don't worry, Violet," said her mother. "Mousing comes naturally to us. Just remember the rules. Prowl silently. Plan your leap carefully. And pounce boldly. It will happen in time. You will see." Now, look what's happening. See inside the pantry door? The kittens with their mother and people. People are looking in, aren't they? You know why? Well, it wasn't long before the kittens began to look like cats. They're getting big. They're growing up. Daisy's spindly tail became long and lush. Samson's big paws grew bigger still. Violet's downy fur turned as white as fresh milk. And she took care to groom each hair nicely into place. Violet's mother had been preparing her kittens for the day they would go out and find their places in the world. So they were eager and curious when Cook led a group of strangers to the pantry door. "It's time, my little ones," said Violet's mother. She gathered the kittens around her, licking each of their heads lovingly. "Come back and visit me. And remember the rules." Ooh, look at that. See that man picking up one of the kitties? "This one is Daisy," Cook said. Violet watched as a pair of big hands reached for her sister. "That's the doctor," her mother whispered. As Daisy was carried away, a mouse was spotted in his waiting room. Well, there was a woman in a tidy apron plucked Violet's brother from the crate. "Oh yes, Samson's a good one," Cook told the woman. "Just look at those paws. See there? She owns the grocery store," said Violet's mother. "There are lots of mice in the storeroom." Ooh. Finally, there was just one stranger left. And Violet sat up as tall as she could. If this person was for her, she wanted to look her very best. "See the dirt under his nails?" whispered Violet's mother. "He runs the nursery." Violet looked at her mother. "What's a nursery? Did it have mice? Would she be able to keep her white fur clean in a dirty place?" "Violet's little," the cook said, "but she's a special one." The man lifted Violet from the crate, peered into her bright green eyes. "Oh, I suppose a little mouse catcher is better than none at all. Be brave," Violet's mother meowed as the man carried Violet away. "Meow, and remember the rules." Although the gardener whistled cheerfully all the way down the hill, Violet couldn't keep from trembling. She missed her mother. When they finally came to a stop and she dared to take a peek, she was amazed. Long tables held trays bright with petunias, geraniums, and pansies, while nearby butterfly bushes gave off a heavenly scent. Wow, look at this. Isn't that beautiful? This is where she gets to live. The gardener set Violet on top of a counter next to a rack filled with seed packets. See over here? There she is. There's the seed packets. Did you ever buy seed and you planted seeds to grow? Well, that's where she's sitting. "Guard these well, Violet. Mice love to chew holes in the seed packets." Uh-oh. Especially the sunflower seeds. You know why? Because the mice like to eat sunflower seeds. Next, he showed Violet her food bowls and a basket where she was to sleep. All day long, a bell jangled above the doors. People came and went. Violet leaped from table to table to help the customers select their plants, but no one seemed to want her suggestions. Well, see, there she is. She's trying to be helpful. She tried to help the gardener straighten the wobbly rows of clay pots, but he placed her on the floor. "Not now, Violet," he said. "I've got my job to do, and you've got yours." Remember what her job is to do? Kill mice. That's right. That night, as Violet lay in her basket, she heard a scritch, scritch, scritch from above her. A small shape moved across the countertop. A mouse! Violet leaped up and scrambled after the mouse as it raced toward the seed packets. The gardener's sunflower seeds. Violet had to save them. Oh no! See what's going to happen? Oh, crash! Went the seed rack as Violet dove after the mouse. Rat-a-tut-tut went the rakes. Smash, smash, crash! went the wobbly clay pots. When it was all over, the mouse was long gone, and Violet crept back to her basket miserably. She'd forgotten rule number 1. Prowl silently. Well, you know what happened. The next morning, the gardener took one look at the mess and he said, "I'm afraid this won't do," he said, shaking his head. "I need a cat to catch mice, not turn my shop upside down." And so the gardener carried Violet back to the house on the hill. Cook frowned at her return, but Violet's mother licked her happily. "Don't worry," said her mother. "God has a plan for each of us. The right person will come for you." See Mother Kitty comforting her kitten? Well, the very next morning, Cook led a woman in a starched white hat to the pantry. "It's the baker," said Violet's mother. "Lots of breadcrumbs mean lots of mice." Ooh. So the baker studied Violet closely. Well, she's a little one, but I suppose a little mouse catcher is better than none at all. And with that, the baker tucked Violet under her arm and headed out the door. "Keep your paws clean," Violet's mother meowed after them. "Meow, and remember the rules. Meow." Oh, look at this. It's the bakery. Wouldn't you love to go there? Yeah. Well, this would be a good job for Violet. She gets to work at the bakery now. Ooh, look at that. Wow, the bakery reminded Violet of Cook's kitchen. Heat ribboned out from the oven doors, and the air was filled with the scent of fresh bread and spices. The baker showed Violet a stack of empty flour bags where she was to sleep, and bowls where her food was kept. All day long, a bell above the door chimed as people came and went. Violet curled around the customers' legs as they peered into the display cases. She knew the custard tarts were delicious. She'd sampled a bit of the custard when the baker wasn't looking. But when she meowed to let the customers know, no one paid her any attention. When Violet tried to help the baker knead the bread dough, she was shooed off the counter. "Not now, Violet," the baker said. "I've got my job to do, and you've got yours." That night, after the ovens had cooled and Violet was asleep on her flour sacks, a familiar scratch, 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 scratch woke her. Sure enough, a mouse darted from beneath the oven. Violet crept toward the bread case. Rule number 1, prowl silently. Rule number 2, what was it again? Plan something. But plan what? As her feet touched the countertop, Violet began to slide. Bam, bam, went a stack of baking sheets. Thump, 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 went a dozen loaves of bread. Kapoof, went the bag of flour. Oh no, look at that mess. And you know what? The mouse was long gone. Disappointed in herself, Violet settled back on top of her flour sacks. Plan your leap carefully. Now she remembered rule number 2. Oh dear. It was a little late for rule number 2 now, wasn't it? The next morning, the baker looked at the flour-covered kitchen. "Oh no, this will not do. I need a cat to catch mice, not turn my bakery upside down." And so the baker tucked Violet under her arm like a little loaf of white bread, walked back to the house on the hill. "I remembered rule number 1, Violet told her mother, "but I forgot rule number 2. Why can't I figure out what God has planned for me?" "Be patient," said Violet's mother. "It's hard to recognize His plan while we're in the middle of it." Well, later that day, a lady came to look into the crate. She had clean hands, unlike the gardener, and instead of starchy white hat like the baker, she wore her hair loose. Around her neck were strings of colored beads that shimmered in the sunlight. "Oh, aren't you lovely?" the lady said as she stroked Violet's back. Violet felt a purr beginning to rumble in her throat. "Oh, Violet, she's an extra special kitty, Miss Alice," said Cook. "Well, in that case, I promise to take good care of her." "I don't know this one," said Violet's mother. She meowed. "Meow. But have faith." Alice carried Violet down the hill to a building with gold lettering across the window. Inside, the air smelled of paper and beeswax and tea. Brightly colored books lined shelves along the walls. Alice pointed out sections for history, art, cooking, literature, gardening, and poetry. There were even books for children. And of all the books in the shop, Violet thought they were the most beautiful. Look at this. Wouldn't you like to go to her bookshop? Now this is Violet's new home. Later, Alice showed Violet a fluffy cushion where she was to sleep and a mismatched set of bowls where her food would be kept. Alice smoothed the fur on Violet's head and scratched her gently behind her ears. Just then a bell rang out. "Oh, that would be a customer," she said. "Let's give her a warm welcome, shall we?" Ooh. All day long, the bell above the door tinkled as people came and went. Violet followed the customers as they moved through the maze of shelves. She studied the books backward and forward and upside down, and after each customer paid, Violet worked hard to pull the receipt tape from the register. "Thank you, Violet," Alice always said. "What would I do without such a helpful kitty cat?" Well, it was a busy, happy day, and yet Violet couldn't help but worry. She knew Alice would eventually want her to catch mice, just as the gardener and the baker had done. Well, that night, as Violet was settling down to sleep, she saw something moving along the floor. "Ah, it's just a stray book receipt," she told herself. But when that something turned and moved the other way, Violet sat up. It was no receipt. Oh, and hadn't Mother said that mice even ate books? Oh, the rules. What was she supposed to do? Do you remember, boys and girls? What is she supposed to do? Let's see. Prowl silently. There it is. Prowl silently. Violet crept forward as quietly as a moonbeam through the window. Plan your leap carefully. Violet tensed herself like an arrow about to be shot from a bow. What came next? Yes, pounce boldly. Violet closed her eyes and pounced. When she opened them again, she was amazed to see a tail beneath her paw. And connected to the tail was a mouse. She'd caught a mouse. It was small and gray with twinkling eyes and a pink nose that quivered with fear. This tiny thing was the enemy? Oh no. What is Violet going to do now with the mouse, now that she's caught it? Let's see. Suddenly, the light went on. "Violet!" exclaimed Alice. "What are you doing?" Violet blinked. She knew Alice expected her to finish off the mouse. After all, it was her job. Violet felt a terrible sadness because she knew what she had to do. And with that, she lifted her paw and let the mouse go. "Come here, Violet," Alice said. Violet took one last look around the bookstore. Of all the places she had been, she liked this one best. "I'm so glad you let the mouse go," said Alice. Violet jumped onto Alice's lap and looked at her curiously. Wasn't Alice going to send her away? Hadn't she failed once again as a mouse catcher? Alice held her close. "Oh, mice are nuisances, but they are God's creatures. We'll find other ways of keeping them out." Aw. Well, let's see what they do. Well, the next day, Violet helped Alice find all the holes in the floorboards and the baseboards where a mouse might sneak in. And then they plugged the holes with rags. "What would I do without such a helpful kitty cat?" said Alice. "I'm so glad you've come to stay." Violet purred with contentment. Her mother was right. God had a plan for her all along, and it suited Violet just fine. Aw, wasn't that a good story? So Alice made a home for Violet the kitty cat. Yeah, and now she's happy. I would be happy at a bookstore too. And I hope you enjoyed this book and the story about Violet. Next week, I want you to come back because we're going to read the second book in this series about Violet Goes to the Country.